the movie that the Rocky Horror Picture Show wished it could be. Phantom of the Paradise, which was awesome.
Brian De Palma,
my favorite Brian De Palma movie. Just go see it. It's got great music, great character stuff, and it's so much fun.
And it's so much better than Rocky Horror. You will love it. Everyone who sees this movie will love it. If you don't love it, you're not breathing. Phoenix. Movie number 8. Holy fucking shit. The greatest, bloodiest kung fu movie of all time. I don't even know what else to say. I mean, this movie's just holy fucking shit. This movie, that's the description.
Oh, it's so awesome.
5 elements
ninja.
Ninjas that represent all 5 elements. They're all fighting each other. There's a plot. It's Shaw Brothers, whatever.
The thing is, it's like 90 minutes long and 85 minutes it's fighting. Non-stop fighting. It's about the 5 elements ninja. They represent the 5 elements and they fight using their thing. There's like a water one. There's a land one, gold, which... Yeah,
elements, whatever.
Anyway, seek it out.
Number 9, sleazy slasher movie directed by a genre favorite.
Funhouse.
Circus carnies are trying to kill people.
It's just one who he kills like a lady, and then he kills all these other.
We didn't very much like this one.
Tongue-in-cheek monster movie classic directed by a genre favorite.
The Howling, directed by Joe Dante, and starring a bunch of other genre people. Dick Miller's in it, Roger Corman, Robert Picardo,
D. Wallace
Stone, Patrick McGee.
Looking hot.
And then they made like 8 more of these movies.
Fun werewolf movie.
Which car is it, sir?
Oh!
Very good. Excuse me, do you think this milk is bad? Congratulations, you won this at the art auction.
Supernatural shocker. I'm not going to read it. Supposedly it was a really terrible movie. And that was
Boarding House. Shot on VHS.
It is Ed Woodian.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like a weird on-screen video graphic is killing these models in a house, and these 2 people, they have like telekinetic powers, and they have like a breathe-off to try to kill each other in the end. It's
ridiculous.
You gotta see it.
It's like if The Room were a horror film. Influential slasher sequel that many people feel surpasses the original.
Friday the 13th Part 2. That's the first one with Jason, but in this one he doesn't have his iconic mask. Instead, he has a bag over his head.
It's fun, you know. Animals Attack movie with a snazzy sci-fi twist. This was Bugs.
Bug, not Bug.
Who produced this one?
It was William Castle. William Castle's last movie.
Oh,
not good though.
It was boring.
It was terrible. Most of the running time is a guy speaking into a tape recorder.
At 8:30 this morning, I woke up and did pee-pee. 1:12, pee-pee again. 4:22, I'd eaten a delicious ham sandwich. I had done caca. 6:25, I began to study the mating rituals of the bugs and their caca. 7:15, more pee-pee.
Historically, the Horrorthon has always ended with a zombie movie. I guess this film counts, kind of. House
by the Cemetery. The great Il Maestro, Lucio Fulci, who can make blood coming out of bodies look like awesome stuff. I love it's so gross. I love the way he does it. Great gore effects, and he's just a master stylist. Not his best movie, but still a great way to end it.
That's all
that was it, man. 14 awesome movies. I stayed awake for everything except for The Howling. I snuck out to take a 20-minute nap.
And Bugs.
Yeah, time or 2. Hi, Ben. Hey, so you gonna come back and or what?
It was a fantastic year. I hope next year is fantastic. We hope to see you there. Exhumed Films, Horrorthon.
Check it out.
The movie experience of the year for all horror fans.
And here is my interview with Dan Fraga, one of the coordinators of the Horrorthon. This is Nick of the Jumpcut Junkies, and we're here at the International House in Philadelphia after the 24-hour Horrorthon, the 4th annual Horrorthon. We're here with Dan Fraga. Fraga, one of the organizers, and I'm just going to chat with him a little bit. So just tell us how you got into doing this.
We started doing it just as a means to watch the movies. We've always been first and foremost horror fans rather than programmers, and we were always just wishing we could see. It wouldn't be great if we could see Fulci films or Argento films or Romero films on the big screen. So we actually tracked down a couple prints. We rented a theater, and we did our first show, and it did okay. And then we tried another one, and that did okay. And we just kept meeting more and more success. And 13 years later, we're still doing it.
How do you go about finding something like Boarding House or last year's Raw Force?
Most of the credit goes to Harry. Harry is 1/4 of Exhumed Films, and Harry is an amazing film collector. He's got hundreds and hundreds of personal prints, and as a result, he has a network of other collectors that he associates with, and so it's basically it's a give and take. Harry will loan prints to people, they will loan prints to him, and thus to us. Some stuff comes from studios, some stuff comes from museums, but it's a variety.
When do you have a finalized playlist?
We probably have about 80% of it done by the summer, and then we always give ourselves some leeway and some wiggle room for leading up to the marathon if a couple crazy things come our way. For example, you mentioned Boarding House. Boarding House didn't get booked until the beginning of this month. We had a different movie in its place, and that fell through, and then we thought, well, what else would be kind of equally crazy? And we saw a friend of ours, Tim, who runs a theater in Texas, had access to a
Alamo Draft House?
Yes, Tim League.
And can you tell us what the other film was, or do you think you might show it? Okay.
Because the hope is that we would find it one day, maybe next year.
Well, I hope you do that.
In recent years, since we've established ourselves, I don't think we've ever been turned down because people don't trust us. We've proven ourselves. If people are going to turn you down, it's generally because they're afraid you're going to steal their print, you're going to break their print. But we've obviously demonstrated that we're very careful and that we're very conscientious about what we show. If we get turned down for something like this particular print that fell through, didn't fall through because someone said no, it fell through because they said yes, and then took a second look at it and said, on second thought, I don't think it's of its playable quality. I think if you were to try to run it, it might break the projector, so better off not to show it.
Okay. What was your favorite film that you programmed this year?
My favorite film, or at least I'll say the film I was most excited for, was Five Elements Ninja.
That was one of my favorites.
Which I grew up with knowing it as Chinese Super Ninjas, which used to play on the Kung Fu Theater when I was a kid, and I remember just being wowed by it as a child and thinking this is the most amazing Kung Fu movie of all time.
That was pretty awesome.
And we've shown a couple Kung Fu films over the year. Obviously we do mostly horror stuff, but I remember saying to Harry, we have to one day, we have to show Super Ninjas. And sure enough, once again, Tim Lee came into contact with people who had access to, so through a chain of events, we were able to secure a print of that. And in actually original language as opposed to the dub, which is even a bonus.
In the 4 years of doing the 24-hour Horrorthon, what's the movie that you were most excited about screening?
I'm going to have to say, despite the fact that... No.
Okay.
I love Burial Ground. Despite the fact that it's a movie that I don't feel the need to watch because I've seen it so many times, I will say that this year it was a major coup for us to be able to show Dawn of the Dead. For years, the rights holders weren't very interested in showing the film and letting people show the film. We would always ask, and we'd always get very polite emails saying, sorry, but we're not letting people screen that at this time. But for the first time this year, they've sort of broadened that a little bit. And
that was a big surprise.
That's the one movie that pretty much everyone would always say, when are you going to show Dawn of the Dead? And we would say, well, we'd love to show Dawn of the Dead, but we can't.
And you sneaky bastards, you just put zombie movie as the hint. And
because if you said greatest zombie movie ever, or only zombie movie we've never played, it's more of a given.
Because I was thinking it was going to be like Oasis the Zombies.
I felt you had to sort of underplay it. So
exactly.
I thought zombie movie would just be zombie.
And that was also.
And it took us all by surprise. Anything else?
All right, I guess that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Dan.
All right, thank you.
Pleasure.